This is exciting.
All right. Good day, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of OptimumHQ's Fireside Chats, How to Spot a No-Code Developer. My name is Chris Torrenzano. I will be the host. And quick point of clarification before we get started. By no-code developer, I mean someone who has the capacity to configure custom solutions on a no-code platform like OptimumHQ. And at OptimumHQ, we actually call them solutions architects. And with us today is Senior Solutions Architect Cody Robey. I do pronounce it Robey, right?
Robey.
Nice. Cody Robey. Cody, thank you for joining us today. If you do have any questions throughout our conversation, which will span all of 20 minutes, please type them into the box below and we'll address them at the end of the conversation. It's 11:20 Pacific. So during it, it'll just be kind of a free flow back and forth. And Cody, I'd love to dive right in by asking, how's your day?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excited to be here?
Yeah.
You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Aloha.
So what I want to start by asking is really just providing some clarification around what it is to be a solutions architect. So kind of in your own terms, how would you define what is a solutions architect?
So we provide, as far as what I've done, we provide 3 main functions in the position of a solutions architect. One is business analysis, systems analysis, and then actual integrations in the platform. So.
And integrations in the platform mean like actually developing the solution on the platform.
Actually building it.
Yeah. So to kind of break that down a little bit further, by business, what would you mean kind of by business analysis?
So we do a lot of that in the beginning of the project.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the planning and analysis and design of what we kind of go through with their requirements, how we can actually use our platform to solve those requirements, feasibility, timelines, breaking down the project.
Right.
A lot of the planning goes in that early stage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then the systems is you actually then, after understanding kind of what the client or customer needs, it's actually turning that into something that the platform can understand.
Yeah, so that's also very conceptual. I use a lot of whiteboard diagrams or ERDs, entity relationship diagrams, and DFDs, data flow diagrams. Those are they're basically flowcharts of how the information flows or how the information is related. So based on the requirements from what we've gathered in the business analysis portion is me conceptualizing how I could build that in OptimumHQ, in their instance, in the platform. So.
All right. So to kind of try and translate this into as practical terms as possible, going through this process, I'd love to understand kind of like what problems you apply this process to. So what do you have the capacity to solve in terms of what a business needs? When they come to you, what do you have the ability to kind of tackle?
So I'd like to say everything.
Yeah.
If we don't currently have the functionality, we could build it.
Right.
And then the engineering team will build it in Optimum, and then the solutions architects can use it to solve that business need.
That's interesting. So even just to touch on that for a hot second, there is a fundamentally different way to approach building software in the sense that when you build something once, it makes that functionality reusable to the solution architects.
Correct.
To then be able to build that type of solution for anybody moving forward on the platform.
Right.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's a lot of fun, actually.
Because you're just kind of like, and what do we get this week to build? So, the overarching process is going business analysis, systems analysis, and then what did you call the third thing?
Integrations.
Integrations, which is like the actual building of the platform. And to your point, you can kind of build almost anything. And it's that there's a slight modifier in almost just because if it's not already in the platform, the engineering team kind of builds it onto the platform, which then empowers you with the ability to now build that out for anybody who needs it. And the purpose of this is really to understand what is the scope of what a solutions architect can do so that people can understand, okay, like if I empower someone, if I identify that someone can be a solutions architect, what is that new skill set I'm now bringing onto my team?
Right.
So would you be able to...
Could I answer that?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you say?
So as far as where solutions architects work, 99% of the time is within OptimumHQ, within the platforms
Right.
that we're, or within the platform, within the instances that we have for our clients.
Right.
So we're in Optimum and we're building.
Right.
If it's outside of Optimum, we coordinate with our engineering team. But if it's in Optimum, a solutions architect can make it happen. So.
And I guess what do you mean by that? Does it have to be in a modular format to be in Optimum, or does it have Optimum just need to have the capacity to build that type of solution?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or either. Yeah, both.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So again, to put it into more practical terms, when a client does approach you, kind of what is the suite of the typical problem statement that they approach you with?
Oh yeah. So usually when we have a new client and we're gathering requirements, they'll come to us and they say, we have all these disparate systems, and it's either a few of them or half a dozen systems or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And they say, nothing talks to each other.
Right.
There's a lot of manual data input. It's a lot of wasted man hours to actually put that data in, and sometimes they outsource it or whatever. And so we come in and we say, we can integrate those different platforms together of whatever systems they're using, or we can replace pieces or parts of them and integrate with the rest.
Right.
Whatever the need is, or whatever their want is, we can come in and fix it.
Right, because and kind of just so I'm understanding you correctly, even knowing some of the clients that OptimumHQ has worked with, they come to you, let's say, with 12 different systems.
Sure.
And some may be like, you may have said 16,
yeah.
but whatever the number may be, right?
Yeah, 87.
87 different systems, and they're like, we need 400 more. No, they come to you with a slew of systems, and they can either say, hey, we want you to help make sure that all of these operate more efficiently together. We want you to replace a third of them and then integrate that with the rest of them, or we want you to replace all of them.
And we can do that.
And then, and really, it's whatever the client needs most. If their systems, if a portion of their systems are working effectively, they're not going to replace them. But if they have breaks, they're going to go, great. OptimumHQ can replace that system and then integrate with your rest, and everything will end up running more efficiently.
It's usually the things we like to tackle first are their major pain points in, if it's disparate systems or if it's manual data input.
Yeah.
We try to emphasize that, those are the things that we can fix quickly, so that they can realize what we're capable of, and that they're more familiar with our system, and that way, we can go from there and plan future items out to either develop or integrate or whatever they need.
Right, and that's interesting, even how you noted it. So that certain, and I want to kind of hop to the next point, but even as you just shared, to be able to first solve a problem quickly, so that people can almost have a firmer grasp on what OptimumHQ has capacity to do.
Correct.
Because even, transparently, like when we're on the marketing side, people are still going, wait a second, this solution exists? Like, this can you know what I mean? So it's, once they get that first solution, then they go, okay, I see. And then all of a sudden they can see a little bit clearer into what can actually be accomplished with OptimumHQ at their business. So if I were to kind of recap even just the first half of what we just discussed, you have the ability to configure custom solutions on the OptimumHQ platform to solve just about any operational need. If it can't be done within the confines of the OHQ platform, engineering can actually develop the solution within the platform, giving you as a solutions architect the ability to now use that in solving challenges for any future client.
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. So there's the question. So then, and what I like to then kind of understand next is, being a solutions architect, did you need to know code? What is the qualifications of becoming a solutions architect, and how can people go, hey, I have somebody on my team who can leverage these new types of platforms like OptimumHQ's to solve any of these operational needs? How can we make it a little bit easier for people to understand? And so for you, what was your background? Let's just kind of start there.
Okay. Well, I was in the Navy. I was a submariner. That was what I did before. Totally unrelated to what I do now here. So that was a lot of fun. But after I got out of the Navy, I went to college for information systems and business. Which really helps my role here. It was actually a little strange coming into a position where I got to utilize all those skills that I learned in college. Like it was almost 100%. And that was strange and awesome, and it's a lot of fun. So
I feel like that's fairly rare for someone to be like, "Hey, my college education prepared me perfectly for
straight
this."
into it, and
not just this,
that's amazing. Okay,
especially because it's like a budding role. It wasn't this pre-existing role that your college was like, "Hey, we know exactly what we're going to prepare you for," and it's this kind of.
Right.
It's the intersection.
Yep.
That serendipity is quite fascinating. And when you were on the submarine, just because, why not explore that topic a little further? Because it's cool. Sure. What were you doing on the submarine?
So I was a nuclear electronics technician. I was a first-class petty officer when I got out. I was part of the reactor control division in the engineering department on board the USS Hawaii 776, fast attack Virginia class submarine. It's a mouthful.
It's a worthy mouthful. All right, let's put a pin in that one. That's incredible.
Yep. Thank you.
And hop over to, so you went from, I imagine you were not coding in that role.
No.
And then you may have had some experience with some degree of code while doing information systems and business, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But never a huge deep dive where you were learning how to build things from scratch.
Yeah, so the program that I was in at San Diego State was, it was a fusion between business and sort of computer science light. It was more the information systems. We barely went into code, and it was more of the concepts behind the code of why it works that way.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so because I really want to drill in on this concept of being able to say that you can configure your custom solution without having any background in code. And now you've been with OptimumHQ for about a year. Your comfort level in approaching a problem and being able to create a solution to solve it is, how, out of 10, where would you rate yourself?
At my job right now?
Is there a degree of hesitance or concern when you approach a new problem, or do you go with this new?
Okay.
Yeah, with so someone comes to a new problem, you're going, hey, my no coding background really beforehand, or really minimal in that respect, but now the capacity to develop custom solutions. I'm trying to help people kind of bridge this dissonance between you don't know code, but you can build a custom solution because you understand this platform. I guess let's even rephrase the question. How long did it take you to kind of first get up and running and comfortable building on the platform?
For me to get up and running to where I could get a new business need and make a solution almost by myself, it took me a couple months to get really comfortable with that. But I think, a couple months really isn't that long.
No, in the grand scheme of the lifetime return of not being able to solve any problem. Seems worth it. And to that point, let's even jump over to this notion of, would it be beneficial for businesses today to have a solutions architect? And does it have to be someone who's in IT, or to this kind of point that we're currently discussing, can it be someone that exists elsewhere in their organization? And how can they help identify themselves as someone who's savvy with this kind of platform?
Right. So as long as you're technically savvy and you've used Excel and the basic functionality of that, and you kind of have a conceptual understanding of data moves from here to here because this reason, you don't need to know the machine code behind it. You don't even need to know the actual whatever coding you use, C or Java or whatever. You don't need to know that. You just need to know why and how. And so if you have a person in your company like that, and they could sort of model the data from a conceptual level, that makes it way easier for a solutions architect to actually, start building solutions.
That's interesting.
In our platform.
Yeah, because it always makes me think of at my previous company before we got acquired. There was this salesman who was an engineer undergrad, did not know code, but was savvy with Excel. Right. Just because he went, I know what the output needs to be, I know what data I have access to, and I have an idea of what that data needs to do on its way to producing the output that we need to be able to do. And I was thinking of him because he could not be further away from. He's not a developer in any sense of the word, but I was thinking, man, if he had access to this kind of platform, which I feel like before nobody would ever look at their team and be like, hey, that operator with an engineering mindset has the ability to actually start building solutions,
right?
Which was only, I think, previously available to people who could write lines of code.
Where it was 100% custom,
right?
Or now it's not. So we use the platform and the functionalities on top of it to build the solutions.
Right.
And it's not. It's just to be clear, it's not based on Excel. When I mentioned that, it's more the conceptualizing, like you were mentioning.
Right.
You have an input, you need a desired output, and how does that process work in between? It's the conceptualizing. So the solutions architect role really bridges the gap between, create the creative side and the logical side.
Right.
Comparing custom solutions on 100% custom code is all programming, where relatively the solutions architect role is very creative. And it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actually, building a solution from the requirements that we get is really satisfying to see the company say, we can use this now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's got to be very rewarding.
Yeah,
like, hi, solved your problem.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. And this notion of, I imagine there's more than one benefit to being able to understand how things are built on this type of platform. So I know we were discussing the other day how even just having a deeper understanding, I almost think of when I went to go buy my car and I didn't understand the process.
Right.
So the entire time I feel like I'm being taken. So even if I was being offered a good deal, I was just like, I'm uncomfortable. So I feel like there's a very similar emotional stigma or emotional experience with anything that's in the realm of custom solutions. I guess, how does this kind of easier to understand type of platform,
right?
I guess kind of ease that issue.
So the more our customer is, the more involved they are with the process, the more comfortable they end up feeling.
Right.
The better they understand the system, how it works, how we can give them solutions, what their end product could be, what we're capable of. So really, the more they're involved, the better.
Right.
At the very least, it will allow them to ask better questions of what we can do, or for them to give us better direction to build their solution.
Oh, that's interesting.
If we were to do it solely as solutions architects.
That's it. Prior to this conversation, I was thinking about this in a very binary fashion of either you don't know or you do know how to build on the platform. But even on what you're touching on, there's this kind of gradation and going, hey, listen, like if you develop an understanding, you're just better at collaborating with us in terms of developing a more tuned solution.
Oh yeah.
And if you're even a little bit better, you can go, maybe you can start building things, start making small updates yourself that we can review. Right. But not necessarily, but it decreases the amount of time we actually have to spend on it and your level of control over what you're working with.
Oh yeah.
And then of course on the complete other side of the spectrum is you can build everything yourself, and if you need us to review it, then we can review it.
Yeah, a few of our clients actually have, I don't know if they call them solutions architects, but they have integrators on their team specifically to work in our platform. They build things and they build their own solutions.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come to us and say, hey, we have this bug, or hey, we have this error, or how do we do this one specific piece? But they're taking care of the whole system themselves. And you could go from any range from that to us doing it for you.
Right.
And it's a range. It's not one or the other.
That's really cool.
It is.
That's pretty incredible. So there's technically a minute left, but I'm getting some questions that I actually really like and would love to dive into.
Okay.
One of them is to something that I think you're already starting to touch upon, which is, what is your favorite part about being a solutions architect?
Ooh. Yeah, being able to collaborate with our team. We have an awesome team behind us, and all of us are really, we work really well together, all the different departments and stuff.
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun in the office working here, actually. So
That's really endearing.
We have a really good work environment,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of fun, and we get a lot of good work done.
That's wonderful. It's funny, as you say that, I can see people looking over at us. So, everyone's very invested.
They're having fun out there.
in what's going on in here. That's fantastic, to actually. I mean, I feel like you've kind of won the lottery in two respects. One, being able to be afforded an education that when you came out, there was like, hey, here's this job that is perfectly attuned to that. And you're like, and I like the people I work with, which it's like our two.
It's amazing.
Life wins. This one I think it is really interesting, and it is kind of the fixed or growth mindset almost kind of concept of, do you think you can teach someone to think like a solutions architect, or do you already need to have an analytical mind in order to be successful?
No, not. I mean, I guess you asked two questions. Yeah. So yes, it can be taught. Okay. It doesn't have to be you're this type of person or this type of person. It's a skill, and it can be learned. Mm-hmm. Just with any new system, it takes training and practice. But once you learn it, you're off to the races, and you can start building solutions. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah. So as long as you can kind of conceptualize what you want to build, and then familiarity in the system, you can start building. I guess the true test of that is people, even in the marketing department here, have been starting to build small things on the platform, which marketing, it's kind of cool. Is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Another one is, this is kind of almost in line with the first one, of what are your favorite projects to work on? Is there a category of projects where you're like, yes, this...
I really enjoy working on projects where they have no system, and they say, we run our business 100% on Excel, which happens.
Right.
And they end up outgrowing that. And we come and say, let's build something for you. Let's build something small so we can solve a huge pain point for you. And when they see it and how usable it is, their faces is like, what? And I'm like, yes. It's so much fun. Yeah. It's going to the client, and sometimes we visit our clients and show them in demos and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts.
That's pretty incredible too, that the way in which you qualify your appreciation for the problem you're solving is based on the size problem you're solving. So the person who's like, I really could use an update, and you're like, yeah, we can do that.
Yep. There you go.
And another one is interesting. What type of hours do solutions architects at Optimum work?
It's as far as what we have right now, it's pretty flexible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Usually, it's the standard is. Are you talking working hours? It's just straight working hours.
How it's phrased is kind of what type of hours do solutions architects at Optimum work? If you can break it into,
sure.
Yeah.
Normally it's 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
But we can. There's a range where you can come in, and it's pretty flexible. If you come in late, stay late. If you come in late and you don't want to stay late, work from home.
Right.
If you have things going on in your life, like adults have problems, go do it and make up the hours and work from home, or whatever you need to do. If you need to work from home for the day, that's fine.
Right.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So because we are web based, so we just take our laptop home and
you have your workstation,
and there it is. So
and that's the culture at Optimum seems to be very output oriented, which is when you have the time, put in the time. As long as you're getting things done when they need to get done.
Yep.
Which is,
it's very not micromanaged.
Right.
So you can have we could be working on half a dozen projects at a time, and touching different parts throughout the day, and switching gears and thinking about different things from one to another. We could use concepts from one on another, and that happens a lot, and it's a lot of fun how we can use solutions for more than one customer.
I gotta say, I genuinely appreciate your sincere joy for what you do. It's really nice to see. That is everything. Cody, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to sit down and hang out and answer some questions.
Thank you.
If you have any follow-up questions, you can send a follow-up email to to myself or to Amanda, we will be sending the recording out to everybody who attended today. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
This is like a whisper in your ear, like they do in the late night shows. Are we still going?